Well, good evening, everybody. It's me, Mitch. It's Tuesday night. I hope everybody can hear me. Having an adventure here tonight. Got this new mixer right over here. Got buttons, faders. God, I love this stuff. Anyway, I'm hoping that it's working. So, little feedback from you guys in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me, and now you can see me. When Mitch says mixer, I think I'm a mix master. I was talking about the mixer before, and some people confused mixer with a kitchen mixer. And what in the world could I ever use a kitchen mixer for? I don't know. Also, there may be a little delay in the picture or the sound, or either one, and that I can tune out of the mixer, but I have to figure out exactly how much that delay is. And I hope that both the quality of my video, and let me put my phone on mute here, the quality of my video and audio are going to improve dramatically. One of the things about this mixer, I used it last Thursday on the private community live stream, and seemed to work pretty good, especially when we had about a 500 millisecond delay. Okay, thanks, Tom. I appreciate that. I'll tune that out. I can't do it now, but I'll work on tuning that out. Now, a small sync difference, your brain will make up the difference, and after watching it for a few seconds, things will start to line up for you. But I want to it also depends on, I think, the delay in the feed you're getting, but it's close enough. I think my lips will be moving with the sound, although I'm seeing the delay looking at my monitor here on the screen. I see my lips seem to move just slightly after I talk. Anyway, thank you so much for putting up with this, and I hope to be able to do some fun things with it. I will be able to do things like this. In case I feel the need to cheer myself or anybody else. Now, I'm also have to deal with the cable management for this headphone. Any rate, I'm glad it was working. So let me start off tonight with my disclaimer. And after what happened to our friend Rosie, you can understand why I think it's important that we do these disclaimers, because it seems like they're looking for any reason whatsoever to keep us quiet, to shut us up. And that's ridiculous. Ellen says, what happened to Rosie? They shut down her Facebook account for violating the community guidelines for basically telling people to eat bacon and eggs. And she sent me another email after that where they actually basically mentioned if she kept it up, she would find herself the subject of lawsuits for practicing medicine without a license and other such absurd and ridiculous stuff, which doesn't make any sense to me, since the carnivore community thrives on Facebook. There's Facebook groups and maybe if Rosie had a doctor in front of her name, she wouldn't have gotten that. I happen to think that this whole thing was triggered by somebody filing a report. Otherwise, why would they notice? Why would they notice? Rosie doesn't have a huge presence on Facebook. I'm sure she's not streaming or doing anything else, but it was strange. So, it sets us back. I'm wondering, well, is YouTube going to follow here? Am I going to, wake up one day and go in to check my channel and it's not there anymore because they deleted it? And then I have an email that says I went against the World Health Organization guidelines, and therefore my message is dangerous to the human race, and me and people like me must be stopped. Don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility, because it could happen. And I wouldn't put it past them. So in every description on every one of my videos, I have a disclaimer, and my disclaimer is important. Sometimes I make light of it, but it is important, and I'm going to do it now. I am not a doctor. I am not licensed to give medical information or advice. All I talk about is my own experience as a now 77-year-old man who has solved virtually all of his health problems in the best health of my life by living a carnivore lifestyle and eliminating all plants, seed oils, and grains, and eating nothing but animal products. I don't encourage any of you to do that unless you want to, unless you're convinced by seeing me and hundreds of others like me that have benefited. But I'm in no way trying to sell you on living a carnivore lifestyle, and have nothing vested in whether you do it or not. How's that? Do you think maybe that gets the message across? Because that's the truth. That's what I started. When I started this whole YouTube thing, I said, basically, I'm just going to let people see what it's doing for me and make up their own minds. And I've tried to stay pretty true to that. Immediately after I got finished doing my little Monday morning rant yesterday, I had a Facebook page. I never used it. I hadn't even logged into it in a year. I had to search like crazy for the password, but I did go in and I deleted it completely. I want nothing to do with stupidity like that. Unbelievable. So that's a sad note, but it's a happy note. And I'm not going to recommend that you all delete your Facebook accounts, but all I can tell you is if it can happen to Rosie, it can happen to you. Rosie can come on YouTube, but who the hell wants to start a YouTube channel? She comes on my channel. Anybody can do whatever they want. She could go on Instagram. She could go on TikTok. She could do all that kind of, but she doesn't want to have a channel. She was just basically, I think, commenting in the groups. I don't know. I haven't talked to her since. She's been traveling for a couple of weeks, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me get a sip of my coffee here. Okay. Got the disclaimer out of the way. I don't know whether we're going to spend more time talking about Rosie. See if she comes into the chat tonight. I know she's traveling with her husband. She told me she was going to be gone for last week. She said she would be kind of out of pocket for 2 weeks or so. So we'll probably see her next week. I've been watching this chat fly by here. Mark says the best part of Facebook is the marketplace. Yeah, I suppose if you use that a lot. Mark was blocked 3 times on Facebook. He said he's never going back. I don't blame him. Boyd Lamb been deleted many times. He has 10 different alternate accounts. Yeah, I don't know. I have an Instagram account, which I never look at. I do tweet on X a little bit, but I don't really do conversations or anything. Mainly it's just, I don't know, I think I might have 30 followers, and I kind of post an announcement when I'm doing something that, like a live stream or something like that. But YouTube is enough to keep me busy. I got news for you. YouTube is all that I can keep after. I want to welcome Jack Faisler. Sometime today, join the private community. Welcome, Jack. Look forward to seeing you around on Thursday night. Thank you. I see a lot of communities here, all the people in green in the chat. YouTube is a full-time job, says Jonathan of Bags Pack Family. Yeah, you know it. You know it. Even if it wasn't a full-time job, I think it's about to become one for you, if I'm not mistaken. Mitch, can you tell us about the bacon you cook each morning? Is it cured, smoked, or has honey or sugar? I'm trying to reverse diabetes and I have a hard time finding clean bacon. Well, yes and no. How's that? Sugar curing bacon that has a little sugar in the cure doesn't mean you're going to get enough sugar in the actual bacon to actually make any difference, because it's a liquid and they wash it off before they package it, as I understand it. What I go by is the serving size and the number of grams of carbs per serving. I buy the Wright's extra thick bacon at Sam's Club. Each slice is about a 1/4 inch thick. 4 slices weigh a half a pound. Each slice, it says on the label, contains 0 grams of carbohydrates, but sugar is listed as one of the ingredients in the cure. I've heard it both ways. I've heard people say, don't worry about it. I eat about a half a pound of that stuff every day. There's not enough sugar in there, I think, to even notice. Certainly not enough to trigger my cravings, and certainly not enough to put any weight on me, since I weighed 137 pounds this morning. So I think you're okay as long as it says 0 grams of carbohydrates. Now, what that really means is that it's less than half a gram. I think if it's less than half a gram, if I'm not mistaken, they can call it 0. So I wouldn't worry about it. I hope that answers your question. As far as making you a diabetic or hurting your diabetes, I just can't see it mattering. If you're really, really concerned, get some pork belly and a meat slicer and a smoker and make your own without any sugar. A lot of people do that. The masses out there, they don't want to buy the 2 things they don't want to buy. They don't want to buy fat meat, and they don't want to buy foods without sugar. Again, 180 degrees backwards. Mark says to bring back MySpace. God, I remember that. I was never much into that social media stuff. I look at the kids today that are just absolutely consumed with it. Consumed. That's their life. Buried in that cell phone. They never look up. They never look up. So let me start saying hello to some people here. I'm going to go way back to the beginning of the chat. Now I'm going to say hello to Cliff Medina. And Cliff posted, "Hi, Mitch," at 9:49 a.m. Little early. And following him up very closely at 10:02 was Mark. Eat Meat, Heal for Life. Morning, Cliff, Mr. Number One in the chat. And these guys fight it out every week. And then Boyd, and then Jody, my buddy Jody at Drone Shots, one of my old drone followers, came in about 6:37 p.m. Good for you. And then Jerry Bell, who's usually one of the early birds, he chimed in at 7:01. Then Juan from Chile showed up about 7 o'clock. What was that? 7:20. Yeah. So how you doing? How you doing? Juan, Boyd, Lamb again. Stephanie Reed's here. How you doing? Coco is here. Good to see you, Coco. And see, we got somebody I haven't said hi to yet. Andy. T-bone, bacon, fish, and pig. TBFP. Is that an acronym for something? And we have Ellen. Ellen, Scooby the dog. How you doing, Ellen? Good to see you. Richard Williams. You know, I've been seeing Richard ever since I started this carnivore YouTube thing. And one day I'll have to have you explain, Richard, is your middle name Williams and your last name Williams both? Inquiring minds want to know. And Tom, Viking 442. How you doing, Tom? Good to see you. Better Barbie is here. Mission Control, that's me. Especially with my new mixer, which I really won't use too much, but when people start coming in as guests, that's when things get hairy on the audio side to keep the echoes out and everything. And I have to work very, very hard, conscientiously, to not do the sound effects. I have these 6 buttons here, if you can see them. Yeah, you can see them right there. And there's 8 pages of those buttons, and they're all different colors. And it tells me up on this little screen up here what the buttons do, but it's very hard for me to read that tiny type from way back. So I'm going to have to memorize the buttons. But I have things like this. And this. Cool, huh? And these are sound effects that come with the mixer. I can load anything into this. And what's this one on the bottom? I got to go close to read that tiny little type. Oh, this is a good one. A record scratch for when you need to abruptly end something. We have chimes. And after a joke, perfect. I also
can talk like this. How cool is this?
Or I can talk like this.
At any rate, it's silly. And there are probably a few occasions where that might be funny. And I promise you, what's the Boy Scout promise? I promise you I won't overdo it. But it's cool. And the neatest thing about it is you can program these buttons to do anything. So I've got all the basic music that I play all the time. I've actually got, all I have to do is push a button here. I push this button and the music comes on. You know, it makes things a lot easier on this end. It's not really the reason that I bought it. The reason I bought it was it has colored lights and buttons. And I am, after all, a gadget freak. So Barbie, how you doing? Sammy Shuford, good to see you. Somerville. Is that Somerville, Florida? Cool. Good to see you. Ellen is back with a long one. Hi. She's saying hi to everybody. And who we got here? We got Lynn Tucker. Love the music. Reminds me of Harry Bosch. Yeah, I like that show. That's a good show. And I think we said hi to Boyd, but we'll say hi again. And Coco and Ron's Keto Cafe is here. How you doing? Says hi to me and all of you. Mike K is in the house from Arizona. Good to see you. And Jennifer from Texas. How you doing? You weren't busy. Well, glad you're here. Nadine. Is it station or station? I guess depends on where you're from. Welcome. And I'm just scrolling down. Sandra McDonald, morning all from Australia, I imagine. Yes, that's right. It is morning. Tomorrow. That just always seems strange to me. Always seems strange. And here's one. Dana does stuff. I need that microphone arm. That's yeah, I believe it or not, I just got that. I just got that today. And it's an Elgato wave arm, they call it. My old one was so old it was falling apart, and I was almost ready for duct tape, so I broke down and treated myself to an arm, and this is the first time that I'm using it, and thought it works great. You can move the microphone all around, position it exactly where you want it. It's got a big ball joint up at the top to adjust the angle of the microphone so you're talking right into the optimal side of it, and I hope it's actually coming through that way on the stream. I hear my voice back through my headphones. Sounds a little bassy through the headphones. Until I actually watch the recording of this, I won't be able to get a good reading on either what I need to do in the mixer preamp to tune up my voice and knock that little bit of a delay out of there. Trial and error. Now, if this was a live stream that I had somebody in a window, I could get feedback real time. And we may do that before the end of the stream and invite a few of you guys in. Don't have a big turnout tonight. I guess everybody else is doing a live stream or something, or people just are getting tired of me. 65 people is not a big turnout. Not by half hour in. Well, it is what it is, folks. Oscar Rodriguez, good to see you too. Josephine C is here. Hi, Josephine. Good to see you. BK, Belgian, from your night shift. So you are in Belgium. I went there once in 1968. I was in the Army. I was stationed in northern Germany. They had shipped my little car over there, and I had to go to Antwerp, to the port, to pick the car up and then drive it from Antwerp, Belgium, back to Germany. And that was quite an adventure for a 20-year-old kid. And I had a ball, but I did get to Belgium. And then while I was in Germany, I went over to the Grand Prix they have in Spa, Belgium, and drove my little car over there and camped out in the car for a couple of days and watched them race Formula One. And that was an adventure, and had the best pommes frites, French fried potatoes I ever had in my life in Belgium. It's probably a good thing they don't have them that good here. I believe they fried them in peanut oil. But welcome. And we have Sammy Schuford. How you doing? Paul Brown. Good evening to you, Paul. Good to see you. And who else haven't I said hello to? We have Andrew Pizzino. How you doing, my friend? First live video watching. Good to see you on vacation. Well, I'm glad you made it. Andrew. Good to see you. And Lone Wolf is here. Hear me loud and clear. Good. Trying to become more professional at this. I think I said hi to Nadine. She's talking to Scooby. Walter Lyons. You are loud and clear, Mitch. Thank you, Walter. I appreciate that. Lone Wolf said hi to you already. BK said hi to you. Dixie Scott is here. Hiya, Dixie. Good to see you. And I think I said hi to Michelle. If I didn't, hi, Michelle. And we also have Spot for Art. I hung some artwork on my wall, as you can see behind me. Portrait. Oh, Steve Studley's here. Hi, Steve. Good to see you. Wow, look at this long list. Nadine, Boyd, Dixie, Cliff, Stephanie, Coco again. I think running into a bunch of repeats here. Mark K. What did Mark say? Mark says terms and conditions of free speech is ridiculous nowadays. Yes, it is. They get by calling them community guidelines. And if you all remember, a few months ago, YouTube put out a kind of an edict, a policy change, where they basically said that they have now kind of allied up with the World Health Organization and will follow their guidelines as far as any health misinformation. And that was scary at the time because, these global organizations are the worst, all of them. It's bad enough we got the Diabetes Association, the Heart Association, and the government dictating these policies, but we let these globalist leaders from the United Nations and everything else start dictating our freedoms. Forget about it. We're done. I don't know how we're going to fight it, but we have to. Stephanie Reed, Michelle, Steve again, VK. I don't want to miss any. There's Jonathan Baggs, Packed Family from Tembagapura, West Papua, Indonesia, soon to come home and be traveling from Florida to Alaska. If you have not checked out Jonathan's channel, you really ought to, because it's a trip to literally a trip to watch. He's there with his kids, and they go exploring all over. They've been in Thailand. The last little trip, I think, was Vietnam, or that's the one he's working on now. Great stuff. It's just don't get triggered by all the eating that they do out there, eating every kind of street food that they find. But well done stuff. And he's coming back. Going to be living in Alaska for a while, but he's coming into Florida. We're going to hook up, I think. I hope we get to do it. And he's going to be driving or traveling all the way from Florida to Alaska and documenting that entire trip. on his channel, and he's got a big channel, got over a couple 100,000 subscribers. So check him out. Check him out. Bags Packed Family. I think you'd enjoy it. There, Jonathan, I gave you a plug. Do the same for me. Jonathan doesn't need my plugs. I got news for you. Lone Wolf. And I think that's it. Well, I don't know. It just keeps going. Boyd, Mike K. Hey, Jesus, look at this. Oh, here we go. Somebody new. Eduardo. Can you tell us? Oh, that's the bacon question. All right, we are getting down to it. And here's Juan Manuel Kurgan 60 from Chile. He usually comes into the chat with us and is like one of the gang on Thursday night. Mark wants MySpace back. And BK says, I got YouTube Premium. I don't need Netflix or this. That's true. And believe it or not, even though I think it's absurdly priced at, what is it, $15 a month, I pay for YouTube Premium too, because I watch YouTube for a great portion of the day, not just to entertain myself, but to learn stuff and research stuff. And I can't take the ads. I can't take them. So yeah, I think it's worthwhile. I'd rather subscribe to that than give Netflix the money. And speaking of that, I want to talk a little bit. Let me just try to make it down to the bottom of this chat here. Elaine, did I say hi to Elaine? Elaine Crawford, also Trader Joe's, no sugar, dry rub, uncredited bacon. Oh, okay, there you go. Supposedly no nitrates. Well, nitrates are, and as it ends up, I think nitrates are actually good for you. I've heard a lot of people, including Ken Berry, say this. And we all know that if Ken Berry says it, it's probably true. That's just another one of these propaganda scares. Turns out, again, according to the research that Ken has done, that the concentration of nitrates in your own saliva in your mouth is thousands of times higher than that you find in bacon. And nitrogen is a very important compound in the human body. Very important. And I can't imagine. Like I say, I'm in the best health of my life, and I eat a half a pound of that stuff at least 6 days a week, 7 days a week, some days, 7 days on some weeks. Am I at the bottom of this chat yet? You guys just keep going. That's really great. It's really great. It does my heart good to see you all as friendly as you are and getting to know each other. Rosie is here. Rosie, hiya, sweetie. We were just talking about you and your little Facebook adventure earlier. When are you going to get back? Type in the chat. Let me know when you're going to be back. And Randy K, member for 7 months. Happy anniversary, Randy. Good to see you. Did my air fryer salmon recipe. It was great. Cool. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, my recipes are more like experiments than recipes. If they come out good, I make a video out of them. But yeah, thanks, Randy. And thanks for sticking around with me for 7 whole months. I appreciate it. Michael Pregler's here. Hi, Michael. Good to see you. Beard and Meat. Hey, listening on my nightly walk. Good for you. Beard and Meat. It reminds me of Adam. Beard Meats Food. Have you ever watched this guy on YouTube? He's fabulous. He's one of these professional eaters that goes around taking all these challenges. He's got this big bushy beard. He's a huge YouTuber. He gets millions of views on some of his his videos. But he's a British guy. He's got a great personality. He's funny as hell. And it's very entertaining the way he does his videos. It's beard meets food. If you haven't seen him, you need to. And I watch his videos and they never trigger me. I watch him stuffing his face full of everything and anything. And that's kind of a test for me to say, wow, I've really, really mastered and overcome my addiction, because watching somebody eat that kind of stuff would have sent me running for the pantry, and it doesn't anymore. So there's a trigger warning involved if you think you want to watch his stuff. So I would be careful about that. Steve Studley says, Rosie, we were talking about you and your adventures. Yeah. Rosie asks, is Coco here? Yeah, she's here, or she was here. I don't know if she's still here. Hi, Steve. At first, I scared the daylights out of me. You sounded scared in your email, Rosie. I hope you didn't, especially that second one you got where they talked about suing you or whatever. And you asked me if you needed a lawyer. And I told you, it's bullshit. Don't worry about it. It's a form letter. I hope you're not worrying about it. And I hope you never have anything to do with Facebook ever again. Those people are as close to communists, I believe, as we have in this country. Jonathan says beef bacon is pretty common in Indonesia. That's interesting. We have somebody here named Jeep, Australia. Cool. And Aunt B is here. Aunt B, I'm 39. Oh, you're number 39 on the thumbs up counter. Cool. Linda Price, how you doing? How you doing? Rosie, you got a lot of friends here. You really do. Terry, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Here I am still saying hello to people. Like Dixie Scott Alf. Okay. Yeah, Mitch's sound effects hour. I don't know which buttons are which, unfortunately. I have to learn the buttons. What's this one? That's nothing. Hold on a second here. Time. I like that. That's sophisticated sounding. Cool. But there you go. All right. That's for you, Jonathan. It's your fault. Richard, did you tell me what your name is? The second Williams is by default from Gmail. Must be a lot of us. Well, let me get my thumb in the picture here. That's great. That's great. Gmail gave you a middle name. That's cool, man. I'm glad you told me that. Steve Stoley says, good evening. Bearded Meat, Indiana. Checking in. Good for you and Boyd and Bagsback family and Eat Meat and Kate Wolfill, somebody different from Toronto. Did we say hi to you? I don't remember. That was a long time ago. I'm still going here. Sooner or later, here's another person I've seen. Vital Nomads. Weather is getting better. They're all out grilling steaks. You love us just said, this is my 4th live today. Holy cow. Mark C is here. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Yeah, click the thumbs up. Although I don't know if you've noticed that about me. I may be the only guy on YouTube that never asks for you to press the like. I don't ever ask you to subscribe. I don't ever ask you to comment. Have you ever heard me? Some troll got on and gave me a hard time in a comment, said, and you're always begging for comments, he said. And I scratched my head and I said, I don't know who he thinks he's watching, but I have never in any of my videos ever asked you to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell, or leave a comment. That's up to you. That's up to you. In fact, when I watch other people's YouTube videos, if they come on and the first words out of their mouth are an appeal for you to subscribe, click the like button, leave a comment, and click the notification, I click right off of it. I don't mean to be a hard ass or anything. It's just, don't ask me how the food tasted before I get a chance to eat it. You know what I mean? Ask me at the end of the video. If you liked what I just did, I'd appreciate a sub. Great. Sure. But the reason that they feel like they got to get that out of the way right off the bat is because most people who watch YouTube videos don't make it to the end. And one night I'll maybe spend 5 minutes and actually show you the analytics on YouTube. And you would be amazed. You would be absolutely dumbfounded at how many people, what percentage of the people who clicked on the video don't make it past 10 seconds. My videos, after a minute, I usually have about 2/3 of the people that clicked on them still watching after about a minute. And that kind of stays pretty steady and falls off gradually towards the end. And by the time you get to the last minute of the video, you generally have 30-40% of the people hanging around. And it's those people that if I ask somebody to subscribe, it would be those people. Why would somebody want to subscribe to me if I bored them so much that they couldn't stand to watch me for more than 5 or 10 minutes? But my videos tend to be a little longer because I'm old and I like having conversations. I'm not here to spit out info like a computer at 500 words a minute. And the younger generation seems to not have the patience for that. And they have to gobble up as much data and info as they can, I suppose. So what's new? Old people complaining about young people. Get off my lawn. Matthew Tremblay, good evening. Mitch from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Good evening to you. Glad to see you. Ireland. 67 legend. Oh, okay. Cool. How are you? Glad you could join me from Ireland. Isn't it like, what is it, 2 o'clock in the morning over there? Must be. God, go to bed. Firefly. Okay, you need to show us a picture of the young old guy carnivore. Wow. Okay, hang on. I'll find one. I will entertain you with some music while I look. Now, that's one thing I don't know is the level. I know the level I hear the music in my headphones. Somebody in the comments, tell me if I'm blaring that music too loud or if it sounds kind of like a nice level for background. That would be great. I appreciate that. And let me see if I indeed have a picture of me when I was young. Not in that folder. I don't have this. I don't have this stuff at the ready, but I can find it here. Hang on. Okay, and let's see. All right, hang on 1 second. There we go. This was me in the year 2000. So that was 24 years ago. And you can tell my beard was not quite as gray as it is now. My face in my younger days was always much rounder. In this picture, I wasn't really fat. That was probably about 170 pounds there. Look at the cell phone. It's an old, oh, I forgot even Nokia, an old Nokia phone. That was long before the days of smartphones. And that picture, there's maybe one of my Hawaiian shirts on, but that picture was taken in Maui at the Four Seasons. And we were there in Maui, and that was in Kapalua, and that was we had an oceanfront suite right on the golf course there, and it had a balcony out there. And I was still married. I still had the wedding ring on my finger. I had money back then. Still had the Rolex. If you've all heard my story about going broke in a fabulous manner, it's all true. Wearing shorts. But this was me at one of the lower points of one of the many times that I actually yo-yoed on a diet. And let me see if I have a picture of me when I was younger. Now, this picture here is me and my son. And I don't know if you remember, I told you when we all talk about the bodies that we used to have when we were younger, I told you that I kind of rocked a body more like the Pillsbury Doughboy than an athlete, because I was never an athlete. But that picture was taken. My son was probably in college. He was probably pushing 20 at the time. That would have made me about 42 or 43 years old in that picture. And that was in my computer company, in the early days of my computer company, when we were still building these IBM clone computers and selling them to school districts. But you can tell that was the old Mitch. I'm not ashamed to show it off here. That was the Mitch Middle, 38-inch to 40-inch waist. And that was me almost half a lifetime ago. You guys making fun of me in the chat? Muffin Top Mitch. Yeah, no kidding. Are you on the right? No, on the right is my son. That's my son. I'm the one on the left. My son's got the hair. I actually had, I had some hair up there. You can see I had, in my early 40s, still had a little bit of hair on top. No gray in my beard yet, but no doubt that that's me. There's no doubt that that's me. Let's see if I got any more here. That are way back. Well, here, oh man, here's one. Here's one. That picture goes back to about 19, I would say 72 or 73, more than 50 years ago. I was probably in my mid 20s. Look at the hair on my head. And I had a 24-foot Sea Ray boat at the time, and the guy behind me, his name was Mike, and he was a diver, and I was a diver back then, scuba diver, and you can see it was foggy. We were out in the Gulf of Mexico, 35 or 40 miles out, and we were going to go spear fishing. We were going to go spear fishing for grouper, and that's the same picture. Here we go. This is the one I wanted to show you. There we are, the two of us. Jacques Cousteau and his sidekick there, and we were ready to go in. And my father, bless him, my father's been gone since 1990, but my father went with us that morning, so that when Mike and I went down, and that was not my son Mike, that was a buddy from the dive shop, but when we went down, when we went under fishing, he would sit and make sure the boat stayed where it was supposed to, so that when we came up 40 miles out in the Gulf of Mexico in the fog, we would not come up and find there was no boat there anymore, because that has happened to some scuba divers. So, but I hope that went back far enough for you. I don't know if I have any more. I have a whole folder full of old pictures of me here. There's this picture, which I've shown to a lot of people. I affectionately labeled this picture Big Mitch. I think at this point in my life was probably the heaviest that I ever got. I think at that point, I probably had 40 or 42-inch waist, was over 200 pounds. Like I said, I was up and down all my life. You can tell the cigar, I got the cigar clamped in my teeth, no gray in my beard yet, so I was probably still relatively young. And but it's been a lifetime of bouncing around between this and that picture I showed you from Hawaii. I was never as thin as I am now. Ever. And right now I'm even thinner than I was in that picture. Anyway, thanks for showing me your old photos, says Nadine. Good. I hope Look at the profile. Yeah. And a lot of years go by. This is this is kind of fun here. I'll show you this one just for grins. What else I got to talk about anyway? Let's see. This here is from a scrapbook that my daughter made. And she put this scrapbook together comparing like this picture here. That right there, I'll try to make it big enough where you can see it, is my father. That's my father. In that picture, I would say he was in his late 80s. He's sitting in this white chair. Do you see the white chair that he's sitting in there? So my daughter found a picture. This is in 1988. Yeah, he was 88. He died at 90 years old and he died in 1990. So, but there's a picture of my father sitting in that chair. And she also found a picture of me sitting in the same chair on the same day. And she put them together in this scrapbook, and I got the biggest charge out of it. But there's a picture of me in 1988. Again, somewhere in between 160 and 200 pounds, probably in that picture closer to 160. I have been fighting, and I tell everybody, and it's true, I have been fighting the weight battle since I got out of the Army in 1970. That's 54 years. I have been on one kind of diet or the other. And this absolutely is the first time in my life that I can say that I'm actually succeeding long term. This was my daughter's graduation. And then again, there I was more bald and still not thin, but not really big, And what's the other picture? Oh, and there's Mitch, big Mitch. I showed you that picture. All right, enough of that. Enough pictures. I'll be boring the hell out of you guys. Ready to go to Studio 54. Yeah, sitting on the white chair there. I was, I think I was dressed up for my daughter's wedding. But as far as being an athletic guy, no, I was never an athlete. Never, ever. Well, I don't think it was inappropriate of me to show you some of my younger pictures, but I hope it didn't bore you. Gives me a charge to see those things. That's for sure. Now I have to try to put my screens back together the way they were so I can find things again. Never bored. Naruto Kun is here. How you doing, Naruto? Good to see you. Pula, your dad looks healthy and happy in his late 80s. Yeah, he was healthy. He was the healthiest guy, never sick, never ever sick, never a cold, never anything. And he went, I don't know what killed him. I don't know what did it to him. He had, I don't even remember exactly the details, but somehow he got injured and punctured a lung in an accident. And after that went downhill in a hurry. But he never ate. he didn't have a sweet tooth. He was very laid back, mellow, the exact opposite personality of me. I inherited my mother's hyper type A. He was a golfer. That's all he wanted to do, play golf. When he wasn't playing golf, he was watching golf on TV. When he wasn't doing that, he was reading golf magazine. The guy was golf obsessed. He was a pharmacist, owned a drugstore in Philadelphia. And when I was a kid, I used to work in his drugstore from the time I was like 6 or 7 years old. And I learned a good deal about the drug business from my dad, even the chemistry part of it, because back in those days, back in the 50s, drugstores weren't like they were now. The pharmacists actually compounded drugs. They made powders and salves and capsules. They made so much of that stuff. And of course, the obligatory soda fountain in his drugstore, which was something you had to have in a drugstore in the 50s. And it was very interesting. I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot about, I got my start in being curious about medicine, about how things work. There's a reason, I guess, for everything in our lives, and we do learn something all along the way. Anybody want to, been at this for about an hour. Anybody want to come in and talk a little bit? I said that that's what I was going to do. I can't believe either I'm boring the hell out of you tonight or something else is going on, guys, because I got half of the people watching this live stream that are usually in this live stream around 9 o'clock. Usually I have 130, 40, 50 people, got 75 tonight. Maybe YouTube's counter is wrong. I don't know. It happens sometimes too, but nothing like everything else in this world. You just can't count on things staying the same. Yeah, I think maybe the counters, because it just dropped. 6 people just dropped off in like 2 seconds. So I'm going to assume that there's thousands of you out there, just thousands. Wake up, everybody. Wake up. Okay, there you go. I'm going to take and put a link down in the chat that says StreamYard. If you click on that link, you can come in here and join me in a window and we can talk a little bit. So I will wait for somebody to come in while I have a sip of my San Pellegrino. Aha, I pretty well count on one. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Hello. I missed the first hour because I was driving back and forth passengers to airport, but now I have a gap and I connect to Mitch because I know that you will do the live and I will do this and you will do the StreamYard. So here I am.
Good. I know. I can always count on you, Juan. I'm glad because otherwise I'd be a lonely guy. You know, there's room for other people if anybody else wants to come in, but I don't know. Anybody, I'll go live with you. Jim Pollock says, come on down. Just find that link that says StreamYard here. I'll put it in there again so you can see it and click on it and I'll bring you in. You could talk to Juan in Chile.
Yeah.
Naomi is here. Oh, okay. Naomi in the dark.
Yes.
How are you?
Hi, Naomi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Hello.
Have we talked before?
Yes. Couple of weeks ago when you first did the
birthday thing?
the birthday.
Oh my
shoot.
God. Okay. Yeah. I don't even remember anything from that night. It was so hectic. It's all a big blur. It's all a big blur to me.
Yeah, the birthday.
I don't even remember anything from that night. It was so hectic.
Your pics, you were never boring with the pics.
Hey, listen, you've got your TV or your stream going, and the echo, the delay is echoing back. So you have to listen through whatever device you're streaming on.
Okay, I've got my TV's off now.
Yeah, there you go. That was it. That was it. I know that when I hear myself 5 seconds later talking. So remind me, where are you? Where do you live?
Hot Springs, Arkansas.
You're in Arkansas. Okay. Okay. Got them all over the place. And how long have you been doing this carnivore thing?
Let's see, been keto since 2017, right after my mom passed away. And then I've been carnivore off and on roughly since 2020.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
Yes.
And evidently it must be working for you.
Thank you.
I can't see you. It's dark. It's very dark.
Here, let me flip the light on for you.
Oh, there you go.
Here,
Oh,
see me better?
Oh,
yes. Now I can see you. Oh, yeah. It's working for you. Yeah, great. Did you have a lot of problems that it solved?
Not too many problems. When I started keto, I was at my heaviest about 210 pounds.
Holy cow.
And now when I last weighed, I'm like 179, 180. But I have had gone to my lowest around 165.
How tall are you?
5'9".
Oh, you're big.
Yeah, I'm large framed.
Yeah, well, you're the opposite of me. I'm five. Well, I was 5'10". I may be 5'9.5". You know, they say as you get older. I try to stretch enough so I, stretch my back, hang, and do things like that. But
I certainly do a lot of stretching while I'm at work because everything's up, like stocked up higher than I can reach. Other than that, before where I started at work, I'd always thought of myself as tall.
yeah, you're a big girl. Yeah, you're a big girl. Yeah. Hey, we got Ed, carnivorous dude.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, carnivorous dude.
We got some feedback going on.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, I don't hear any echoes. Can you hear? Do you hear echoes? Are you watching it on your TV?
Yeah, no, I'm on my phone. I can hear the young lady. You're echoing and she's echoing.
That's hard. That's very hard to say where that might be coming from. I can't hear it here. Naomi, do you still have your TV volume on at all?
No.
No, I don't hear any echoes from you. Well, we'll probably have to just live with it for a little while. At any rate, thanks for coming on, guys. I got another one here. This is here. I thought nobody was going to show up tonight, and everybody jumping in here. Paul is here. Paul,
Hi.
how you doing?
hi, Paul.
Doing good.
So have we I'm sorry if I don't remember everybody I've ever chatted with, but have we talked before like this?
No, not me.
Okay, good. Then I didn't forget you. So that makes me happy. And where are you? Where are you living, Paul?
I'm in near Lancaster, Pennsylvania, kind of the heart of Amish country.
I know exactly where that is. I'm from Philly.
Yeah, I got a son in Philadelphia, and when you were talking about the pharmacy, there's an old pharmacy in South Philly that's been converted over to a restaurant.
Oh, there was back in the day, back in the 50s and 60s, all of these row houses that they had on the corner house always had a business. It was a little diner, or it was a drugstore, or it was a deli, or it was a doctor's office, or it was something. It was always on the corner. And usually the owner of the business lived upstairs.
Yep.
They took the first floor and or the basement and converted it. My dentist had an office like that. My doctor had an office. We never went out of the neighborhood. We just walked down the street into somebody's house, and there was everything. And my father had a drugstore like that. He had a couple of apartments, and he was at 29th and Allegheny in Philly, which is right near the river, near the Schuylkill River, and near the Bud Plant and the Tasty Bakery. And if you all remember Tasty Cakes, and I know you do in Lancaster, my dad's drugstore was right not far from where they baked those things. So the entire neighborhood always smelled like a bakery. It was horrible. I mean, you didn't stand a chance if you lived there. I think we lost.
This is the snack capital of America. Chips, cakes, pretzels, you name it. We got twice as much as anybody else.
Oh, you got Hershey's chocolate.
So we got that too.
Yeah, I mean,
and you know why we got Hershey's chocolate?
No, why?
Because he missed the boat.
Really?
He missed his connection to the Titanic. Maiden voyage.
Oh, you're kidding. So
No, I'm serious. It was his ship that came in to the same port was like, I don't know, 6 hours or 10 hours late, something like that. And they don't hold the Titanic for anybody. And he missed the Titanic's maiden voyage.
I never heard that. I had never heard. That's interesting. And so you're not. How far are you from Wilkes-Barre?
Oh, 2 hours.
2 hours. I had a buddy lived up there and Scranton. And when I was flying, I was a pilot, and I used to fly into what was the name of that? Is that Allentown?
Allentown, Reading, all those places.
But the runway was like up on a mountain in the middle between a valley, and as you're heading the approach end of the runway, it was a cliff. And the runway was on top of this thing, and it was a cliff coming down in front of it. So I flew that approach in the fog one day, and knowing that there's mountains on both sides of me, and in front of me is a cliff with a runway sitting on top. And if I was a little bit low, and I couldn't see shit. That's the scariest thing I ever did in my life. Obviously, I made it. I think that was Allentown. Yeah. It was Allentown. So I hear some noise. I don't know where it's coming from. I could try muting each of you individually if it goes away. It's not you, Ed. Not you. Is it Juan? Juan, you making all that racket?
I have no idea.
No, I'm muting them one at a time here. No, it's not Juan. I think it's coming from you, Naomi, whatever it is. I don't know what's making the noise. but it's like a garble.
Gargle.
Garble.
Maybe it's a mixer.
My mixer? No, I don't think it's the mixer.
I don't have any mixer on.
No, but if I muted your mic, it stopped. And now it stopped. It's hard to say. Anyway,
Maybe my air conditioner.
who knows? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like I said, this is not professional show business. People have it. Trying to have a little fun. Just me.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Sure, absolutely. Ed.
So there's some serious lagging and some looping with what you're saying. And now I'm hearing myself in the video 3 or 4 seconds later. You there? That's wild. My whatever I say comes up like 3 or 4 or 5 seconds later.
Okay, Naomi, that racket that I hear garbling in the background is definitely coming from you. Juan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I see the screen and everybody's freeze but me.
Well, that's hard to say. Everybody's moving on my screen, and I can't control that. That happens at Streamyard. Paul, how you doing? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay.
You hear any echoes or anything like that?
No, sound is clear.
Okay.
Yes,
Naomi?
now the garble is over.
Yeah, that's because it's coming from somehow, Naomi, you got a bad connection. When I unmute your mic, I get all that noise and garble again. So,
It's probably my air conditioner going.
something. So anyway, listen, we're going to have to say goodnight. And appreciate you coming on. And we'll try it again the next time, okay? And maybe you won't have this bad, you got a bad connection or something. Something is wrong here. Okay?
Okay.
Thanks for coming. Take care. Yeah, I have to do that when we get bad audio like that because, okay, Ed, did that clear things up? Everybody else seems to be able to hear it except you.
I just keep hearing everyone repeat.
Do you have any, what are you watching this on?
I'm watching this on directly back to me on my phone.
On your phone, and you don't have a computer or a TV or anything else on that's playing?
No.
That's weird. I don't hear any echoes. Anybody else hear any echoes?
Nope.
No. Something.
It's almost like everything that you say to me, it repeats itself like 3 seconds later, and then I hear myself answer, and then I hear you ask again. It's really weird.
That's what happens when you do get a loop back, but if it was on my end, everybody would be getting it. So something in that, who knows? I don't know. I can't figure it out. I do these things, and basically I told everybody if it doesn't work, we have to try it again another time. But that's
okay. I just want to tell you have a great night. I love your channel. I appreciate you. I'm your man. Well, it's my anniversary tonight, so I got to go hang out with the wife.
Well, I would actually. She said, "What the hell are you doing with that old bald-headed fart? You need to do it." Ah, great. Happy anniversary. How many? How many years?
He's frozen.
Yeah, no, he can't hear me. There's something wrong. All right, Ed, you take care of yourself, buddy.
All right, brother.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi, Mitch. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Very good, sir. I just want to let you know how much I respect you and appreciate you and for all you do. I mean, you're not doing this for money. You're doing this because, you're a passionate and caring human. And the more I can promote people like you, the better our world will be. And
Thank you.
I
Thank you
just
so
wanted
much.
to share with you something that that I came across today, and I follow a lot of people in this carnivore whack job world, and one of them is Sean Baker, and Sean Baker, kind of provided some videos today of a vegan girl that just really lambasted him and just was radical in this interview that he had with her, and and it made me think. To be honest with you, I have children and I have grandchildren, and I'm concerned with the diet that they eat, the food that they eat, and I know what it's done for me, by changing my diet, and and the effect it's had, and yet when I see my children and my grandchildren eating this garbage, this you know zero nutrition food that's causing them all these problems, and then to see that the attacks that we get for trying just to better our lives and better our health, um, you know really the takeoff that I got from this was that, um, I think the best I can do is lead by example. I'm trying to better my health, and it's very simple. I just want to live a healthy life,
Don't
and
we all?
so what I'm trying to do is just, you know my history was that I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I was pre-diabetic. I developed Graves' disease, and the medication for Graves' disease was there's only like 5 medications, and you can only take them for a certain amount of years. And if it doesn't cure it, then you either have to um, um, remove your thyroid or radiate it, and you'll be on a supplement forever. And I wasn't willing to accept that. It just got to the point with the medical system that that whatever was happening in my life wasn't working. My diet wasn't working. My health was getting worse. Um, and so, anyways, I ran into that what you eat is what you are, and your health is based on what you eat, and that's and basically now I'm like you, Mitch. I eat bacon in the morning and eggs, and I eat a nice ribeye, or sometimes I even eat sardines. I eat shrimp, lobster, fish, and my whole life has changed. I'm on zero medication right now. I was on 7 medications. I'm on zero.
Holy cow.
My blood pressure is fine. My doctors, in Canada here, where I live in Canada, I have a hard time finding a doctor that'll even, do proper blood work for me. So what I do is I hire a doctor in the States that does the requisition for my blood work, and then I do the blood work here, and then I send the results to him in the States, and he reads it for me and tells me that I'm doing fine. And um, but what I really wanted to say was that Sean Baker today, when he posted those videos, it really affected me, and I think that we shouldn't look at carnivore or what we're doing as we have to prove to everyone that this is the way to go, and that the people that don't do this are wrong. I think it's more of a case of we do it by example. And
I
I
agree.
think that's what I see that you do, Mitch, is that you're not saying to people that what I'm doing is right and what you're doing is wrong. You're more showing an example of you're in your 70s, you're healthy, you walk every day, you don't have aches and pains, you sleep well, your skin is good, and your mental health is good. And what is
Well,
causing
that's
that?
debatable.
Well, it's
That's
just because
debatable.
what you're eating. it's very simple, and I think that's what we need to do. So I don't think there should be confrontation, and I don't think that we should try to force this onto people. I think it's what we should do is lead by example.
Well, I agree. Absolutely. And I appreciate the kind words. I really do. And that you noticed that that's why I did this, was basically just to show people. I exposed my life and said, this is what I'm doing. And if you think it'll help you, go right ahead. If you don't want to do it, I don't care. It's not, I got no skin in the game as far as these other people. This thing with Sean Baker today, I saw one of those. I couldn't watch the other. I just wanted to smack her. I didn't even want to kill her. I just wanted to smack her, and just, call her a child. Who the hell do you think you are, disrespecting somebody like that? I mean, that nonsense when she kept shouting over him and she kept saying, yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. Remember that?
Yeah.
I clicked right into it.
I thought Sean really handled it well. I think he was very respectful with her, and I think he was calm, and he just let her bury herself. He didn't have to really say anything negative because he was doing it all.
Why did he feel the need to even expose her to the world and all of his followers?
Yeah, I think you bring up a valid point, and that's where I wanted to discuss a little bit with you, is that yeah, well, what's the point? I mean, you really couldn't talk with her. You couldn't have an intellectual or a proper conversation with her, because it would be like anybody discussing any subject. If they're so wound up in what their idea is and they're not open to discussion, what's the point?
They're trolls, Jim. They're trolls. They are taught how to monopolize a conversation, how to change the subject if they even start to lose a point. They become masters at that. That's what they do. They're looking for people to try to make fools of them. They're not interested in having the truth exposed. They're not interested in helping anybody. They're probably paid by organizations that want to see anybody that goes against the big food and vegetarian movement. They wants those people to disappear. They're activists. You can like the vegans that sit down in front of the road, like the vegans that go into somebody's store and pour milk all over the floor and disrupt everything. Those aren't people. And I did a little discussion in my last video. I talked about reaction videos. Why do we do those things? Why even allow those fools to have a pipeline to the ears of those people that follow us? We're giving them an audience. When we bring a vegan on and debate him, or he made a video, we react to the video, and then they react to that video, and everybody starts arguing back and forth. I don't think that accomplishes anything.
It's a waste of energy.
It's a waste of energy. It's aggravating, and everybody, I guarantee you, every one of Sean Baker's followers already knows the crap that's going to come out of that other guy's mouth anyway. Sean, you never win any points. Has any one of these people that have ever done a reaction video actually changed the mind of the people that they were debating? No.
Have you seen what he's doing with his shorts, though? Where he's eating the steak, and he's got a person. He's got a person to the left or right of him.
Yeah,
and notice one type of person's always on the right, and a different type of person's always on the left. I think he's very. He does it on purpose on where he puts them.
Well, it's the contrast, right, between
Well, the
what
ones on the
what
right
the
he agrees
normal
with.
is.
The ones on the left he doesn't agree with.
Okay. I think he's got editors that work for him that actually do all
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
There's no
Anyways,
Probably.
I don't want to
no way
take a
Sean
lot of
Baker
your
edits.
time, but I thank you so much, Mitch. And you know, I'm probably one of 99% of the people that follow you and 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 watch you and listen to you that don't really participate. And I just want to let you know how much I really appreciate you. And it's nice to be able to have someone I can relate to that that I follow this diet and you follow this way of living that is just, you know, the same as mine, and the benefits that I've been getting are tremendous, and I appreciate you so much, and all your followers too, because we're all in the same boat, right? We're just trying to live a healthy life, and thank you so much.
Well, thanks for saying that. I really appreciate it. Makes it all worthwhile, things like that.
Yeah.
And come back again, and we'll do this again.
Okay, thank you so much. Good
All right,
health, and take care, everyone.
thanks for coming in. Okay, let's say hi to Tom. Tom's got his mic muted. There you go.
Yeah. I didn't want people to hear me coughing.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah, one of the reasons I popped in here was to let you know the carnivorous dude.
Yeah.
His problem was he wasn't muting his YouTube video. I have to do that to keep that same thing from happening.
Oh, okay. On the cell phone.
Yeah, because of the lag.
Oh,
Going
he
back-
had two. He
Yeah.
had to have two different windows. He had to have a process running the Streamyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So if he doesn't mute the YouTube video, you'll hear that sound from Streamyard a few seconds later.
Yeah. Okay.
that's
Good.
what's
That's a
going
good
on.
point. Well, listen. Well, you're a tech guy, so
Yeah.
I think we have very little technical difficulty, believe it or not, doing this. It surprises me.
I kept telling him that in the chat, but I don't think he was seeing it. So.
Oh, okay. Well,
About muting his YouTube.
we'll get him back. But between you and me, if I was his wife, I'd be, smacking him in the head, saying, "What the hell are you doing? It's our anniversary." Any other night of the week, ignore me, but not tonight.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Yeah. So at any rate, I see Tammy Patarch is here. She says she's back from the Dominican Republic. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Oh, there's Merwin, Carnivore Odyssey. You all know who Merwin is? Carnivore Odyssey, Australian. Yeah, she's terrific. She and I are going to get together and do some kind of joint thing, not an interview, because I hate it. I really, get tired of interviews. It's always the same questions, the same answers, and but I think maybe a joint live stream or something. But we talked. We had a video chat, lasted about an hour and a half. Last Friday, we're going to get together again this Friday, but she's in Australia, so it's always in the evening here and the next morning where she is. But she's in the chat tonight. Good to see you, Merwin. You're doing all right. Last front there might be. She's chatting up a storm. Yeah. Great. Yeah, I love to see all these people chatting like that. So Juan, you're at home, I see. Juan's mic is muted. Juan. Earth to Juan. He's
Juan's cooking.
he's doing something. That's okay. He's here. So what else is new, guys? Anything?
Mitch, I have a question.
Yeah.
Your Rolex was gold. Was that a Submariner?
It was a GMT Master.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I'm a watch buff. It
was a GMT Master. It had a brown face. I don't have any of that stuff anymore. And you know what? I'm happier now, I think, than I ever have been in my life with nothing, basically. I mean, I get by, I have a comfortable place to live. I got something to do that keeps me busy, a little purpose, and no pressure on me, no debt, nobody chasing me. It's become a great life. I really enjoy it. Nobody nagging at me. No responsibilities. Yeah, I'd probably do all the same shit over if I had to, but at least I got through it. So let's see. Tom, your mic is muted, and Juan's mic is muted. That leaves you and me, Paul. We're about it here.
Okay. Well, I've kind of got an announcement. I'm 5 weeks into being off all insulin.
Hey,
I'm at-
wait a minute.
That's great. Yeah.
See, I knew this.
I'm closing out 3 years of this journey. 2
Oh, man,
years carnivore,
that's
and
great.
I got a couple of doctors I'd like to meet face to face and say, "Well, I did it, idiot."
Yeah, give him that old double barrel thing that I do.
But what really helped me the most was I did a consultation with Bart K.
Oh, did you really?
And that was, I had this dream one time. I said, well, what if I had Ken Berry, Chafee, Jason Fung, Westman, all the greats. What if I had them all in one room? I bet you in an hour they couldn't come up with a solution for me. And in a 1 hour consult with Bart K, we resolved almost everything.
Oh, that's amazing. He's a smart guy. A lot of people don't give him credit for what he knows.
Well, you got to remember about Bart. He's never changed his position. He's very careful about what he says. And you can see people baiting him, trying to get him to misspeak. And that's why he always pauses and he thinks about what he's saying. And somebody asked him, I think, well, do you think there's any need to introduce carbs into the carnivore diet? And he paused for a long time. And then he said, as I said in the beginning, and I have no evidence to change my answer, you don't need one single carbohydrate or one single gram of fiber.
Oh, that's true. I absolutely believe that. And for me, it's been almost 2 years with neither. And I've never been better, especially my gut. My gut was always my biggest problem, being plugged up, constipation. And what I do to try to fix it, I would take Metamucil and fiber and all that, and it made it worse. You forgot. And then all I had to do was just start eating meat. Most of it doesn't even make it down to your colon. Most of it's gone before it hits the end of the small intestine. But the thing about Bart K is that he knows his biochemistry, and most people don't even know, when it comes to biochemistry, the extent of what they don't know, the breadth of what they don't know. And I'll tell you what, I got this thing queued up on my monitor here. I want to show you. Ken Berry did a tweet on X, and he posted this graphic. Okay. And this graphic is basically supposedly a compilation of all of the chemistry in human physiology. Okay. So let me do this. Let me rearrange things here. I'm going to make you guys small and make me big. I like that. I like being big. And then I'm going to go over to this monitor and I'm going to show you this thing. And what this is, it looks just like nothing, but I'm going to start zooming in and And I want you to see what this is when you start getting in close. It is all of the different chemistry and pathways and reactions and all of this stuff that's going on every millisecond of every day in every cell in our body. All of this stuff is going on all at once, and anything that doesn't work just screws up the whole thing. It's so complicated. It would take years just to learn. Basically, if you just go up into this corner here, and just try to learn what each one of these different molecules are, what they do, and in what pathway are they? What do they do? Do they make energy? Do they convert glucose to something else? You know, to me, that's just absolutely mind-boggling. So this is Bart K's world, what I just showed you. And you know, people don't give him credit for that because he's a comedian and likes to clown around. So they think he's an idiot, you know, and that's a shame.
Bart K is the science, period.
I think so. I the only thing about him that, and I know he likes to make money and he has this cereal brand of stuff, and I have no opinion on that one way or the other.
I do.
But he pushes it. Did that help you?
Transformed my life 100%.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that because I've never met anybody that actually was involved in that. So I'm curious.
My issue was this. Last November, I was kind of like stalled out on improving my getting off insulin. And doing a C-peptide test telling me how much insulin my pancreas is making, I was very low. I wasn't type 1 diabetic, but I was low. So I started in December of last year, and I've taken my C-peptide from 0.7, which is below normal, to a 1.9, which is about mid-range. I'm now making the insulin that my body's using, and I'm not injecting any more insulin. Now, may have I accomplished that with carnivore for another 2 or 3 years or whatever time period? Possibly. But I take a range of their products, all 4 of them all total, and I've never been able to, I've done a lot of N=1 experiments where I've given up insulin and my blood sugars would soar to 200-300, yada yada. That's eating carnivore. My blood sugar would soar.
Wow.
And you know, my doctor, my primary care physician was smart enough, you know, we did the C-peptide test. He says, you're not type 1. And so ultimately what Bart and I figured out was my body's now making the insulin, perhaps thanks to the cereal products, but that insulin is slightly different than the insulin I've been injecting. So I can hold my blood sugar down with injecting insulin, mainly a long-acting insulin. And eating carnivore, I can do it. I can maintain that low blood sugar. Well, he says your body just has to adapt to the insulin that it's making. It's slightly different than what's made in that lab factory. And it is as good as a hypothesis as any. And it took about a week. I mean, I went off insulin. My blood sugar went up to about 172. And then after that, it's steadily come down. My blood sugar average daily right now is about 132, 136. And it just
what's your
5
A1,
weeks.
What's your A1C now?
Well, my last A1C was 6.8, but you have to understand, I have an unusual primary care physician. He's a resident. He's young. He's thoughtful. He's open to. He's very curious about me. He's never had a carnivore patient before,
Well,
and so
that's encouraging. That's a good sign that he's got some
we've
curiosity.
done a lot of experiments together. Okay, where okay, just give up insulin, see what happens. So I quit insulin so that raises my blood sugar. So then the A1C comes back kind of high. But like I say, on my monitor, on my CGM, there's a report. It's a 7-day average. This is what your blood sugar's average for the last 7 days. And my 7-day average right now is 132. And that's down from 172 5 weeks ago.
Well, that's quite a shot. And if you're doing well without insulin, then you're on the right track.
Yeah. It's just we believe it's my body. There's a difference between what you inject and what your body makes. There's a slight difference.
I could believe that. I would believe that. But that's great. And so how many consults did you have with Bart? Just the one?
Just one.
Wow.
And we've become kind of, I wouldn't say we're close friends, but I go to his lives. And he interviewed me shortly. He's going to be putting out he's editing right now. We did an interview a week ago.
Oh, that'd be great. I'll look to see that.
And yeah, I'll know to you. I'll post to you when it comes out. And then yeah, he's he almost went blind.
I didn't know that.
He thinks that his stories on his website. He had wet brown macular degeneration. He was 39, and the ophthalmologist told him, "Go home, get your life in order. You'll be totally blind, seeing nothing in 5 years." 2 weeks later, he got hired by Cerule to train the Australia and New Zealand team. They were looking for a college professor. And he learned about their product. He looked at their research, and he started taking the maximum dosage of everything every day. Of course, they gave him the product because he was working for him. And 1 year later, he went to the doctor, and the doctor says, "I know you're a scientist. What the hell are you doing?" And he says, "I've been taking this product, and it's not really a supplement. We call it a nutraceutical. Kind of half supplement, half pharmaceutical." And I don't even understand what the stuff's made from. It has something to do with algae and fungi and all that kind of stuff.
I have no clue.
and I guess the scientist who came up with it, he knew, he was like Bart. He understood all this physiology. He knew what he had to have, but he couldn't make it. He had to find it in nature. So he found it in a lake in this northwest United States. And it's if it, I went on the product strictly on my faith in Bart K. And now, I can't make it. The government prevents me from making any outrageous claims, and I wouldn't be surprised if I hadn't found Cerule and if I'd eaten carnivore for the next 1, 2, 3 years, that I still would have achieved the same result. I just got there quicker. And stem cells are the key to a lot. And Bart explains what a new adult stem cell does in your body. It's released from the bone marrow inside your bones. And it's now traveling through your body looking for trouble. It finds a cancer cell. It's got Bart says it's like Star Wars. It zaps it. That cell is, yeah. I mean, this is how he explains it to those of us who can't understand the science. And he says it's going to die, and it's going to be transported out of the way. Yes.
Does this supplement have any kind of study associated to it? I mean,
yes.
Okay. Because it could just be carnivore, right? I don't think our ancestors.
Well, I was carnivore for 2 years, and twice I tried going off insulin without success. So there's a possibility that, if let's say I never took Cerule, that I still could have achieved this success, and in the same time fashion. It's a possibility the two events just coincided together. But, I just look at the things that have happened to me for a year, I was constantly reducing carbs. So I went from 300 carbs a day to 0 over 14 months. And then I finally, 2 years ago, I was full carnivore. I had a sore on my knee for 25 years. I've been type 2 diabetic for 32 years. I've been walking around with a blood sugar. I've been walking around with a blood sugar for 30 years of about 300. Okay?
How are you still living?
I have no eye damage. I have no damage to listen. I've been blessed.
Somehow.
I can't explain it, okay? I only have one thing wrong with me from my diabetes. Only one thing. I have some neuropathy. I'm about halfway, a middle of the road neuropathy in my feet, okay? Sometimes I have to look at my feet, see if my socks are on. I can't feel them, okay? I have no kidney problems, no liver problems, no heart problems, okay? And I have no eye problems due to my diabetes. I was blessed. I was lucky, okay? I don't know how to explain it. Doctors don't know how to explain it. I was hit in a parking lot by a car. Car backed over me. I was unconscious. This was like 2 years ago. 2 years ago this month. I wound up in the hospital. I was out cold. I wasn't coming back around. And they didn't know what was wrong with me. And so they're grabbing all the blood they can. They scanned me. I had 7 different scans of my body. Okay? And then, I don't know, doctors got into an argument over my heart. And so they did some more tests. And then I was in the hospital for like a week over this, and the doctor stood at the foot of my bed, big, tall doctor, statuesque person. It's a female, actually. And she was head of cardiology at Lancaster Hospital, and she said, Paul's heart is pristine. He has no heart issues whatsoever. They measured all my coronary arteries. They did I had obviously EKG, but I had the echocardiogram. I saw the blood going through my heart. I saw the valves opening and closing. Most amazing things. If you want to talk about a miracle, watch a heart pump blood.
Well, listen, Paul, listen. I wish I had unlimited amount of time tonight. But I'm gonna let you save some of this story for the next time, because
okay, that'd be fine.
I want to say see how Tom is doing, and then it's almost 10 o'clock, and I got to get out of here. So
yeah, I have to. I'm going to cut out of here. I have to run myself, and
well, listen, congratulations on the progress you're making, and
Mitch, thank you for all you do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right.
See you the next time.
Okay, bye now.
Bye.
Bye, Paul.
Okay, Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Didn't get to talk to you much.
That's okay.
Oh, that's great.
Give other people a shot.
Yeah, I like to hear people that are excited about getting better, especially people that have been sick for a long time. You know what I mean? I like
It's
to
a
hear
big
that.
shift. Yeah, you can feel the shift when it happens, and that's why everybody wants to scream it from the rooftops. But unfortunately, most people don't want to listen.
Yeah, I still don't know about the Cerule products. He didn't convince me.
Yeah, if he feels like it's working for him, that's great. But
that's exactly what I was going to say. Sometimes the placebo effect of something is even better than the drug itself. Yeah.
And That's as powerful as any, any kind of medicine. But my own personal experience is I've tried all the snake oils and none of them did shit for me. So
No, me
I
neither.
just,
That stuff just generally made me
I'm
sicker.
just gonna go with the ancestral diet, and that seems to be doing the trick. So
I think so. I think so.
yeah.
I had I had a comment. I wanted to just talk about this quickly today. I read one comment. Mitch, it said, you never told us that you had any problems with your legs or your feet. I noticed in the video today that you seem to be limping. And there are some places in that video where it looks like I'm limping. Actually, I'm walking next to one of these concrete curb gutters, and one of my feet has gone down into the gutter, the other's up on the road.
Uneven ground. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought I managed to keep it pretty steady looking. But yeah, that's no, I don't have a limp. I don't have a problem with my feet or my legs, but I did get a charge out of that. I did get a charge. I don't know. I made that video today. I guess maybe you saw it or you didn't, where
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't even notice a limp. So
and I just have these thoughts sometimes. And, I just, you have to have a concept. You want to, just make a point, but you have to fill up a video with your point. So I just start talking and shit comes out. And
stream
but
of consciousness.
some people say, well, that was brilliant. Other people say that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. It's just the range of opinions. So I got four people that unsubscribed from my channel during that video today. I got one guy that actually had to come on in the comments and tell me that he was unsubscribing.
Right.
I didn't subscribe to you just to hear you rant. Now,
Like you owe him something.
No, but I didn't rant. That wasn't a rant today. That was just me being a little philosophical. I was basically talking about, I had a point. The point I wanted to make is sometimes it's better not knowing some things because it keeps you from worrying about them. And if you can live without knowing some of these things, you're better off.
Right.
And that was kind of the point I was trying to make. And I tried to end it on an upbeat note, but most people never made it that far. I don't know. They just want me in the kitchen. I feel like some old housewife, man, just, barefoot in the kitchen, just don't try to be too brilliant, Mitch. Just cook. And interestingly enough, this is not a cooking channel. And
right.
Yet those videos do better than all the other ones. So maybe I should.
Well, there's so many whack jobs out there that have been claiming NATO and the Soviets and everybody else has been going to invade us for decades. And that story seems to regenerate itself.
Yeah, but I mean, the people that the person that sent me that video I was talking about is somebody I value, and I know she was just sending it because she thought I'd be interested in it, but I got that same video from a couple of people that sent me that. And I can't, and I look at that and I feel bad because they sent it to me because I don't want to write back and say, why are you sending me this crap? Because that's not how I feel. I appreciate, but I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch these videos that just, the world, Chicken Little videos, the doom and gloom is going to happen tomorrow. So, get your house in order tonight. If it happens, it happens. I don't know. Anyway, I've been up since 4:00 this morning and it's 10:00 tonight. It's been a long day.
It's bedtime.
Been a long day. So it is bedtime for Mitch here. So any last words from you there, Juan Manuel?
I was listening you carefully, and well,
all the people that remains here, that follow your videos, that listen to you, is because we appreciate what you do. And we know we are humans. Sometimes we don't agree 100%. But I think carnivore people, as you said time ago, we are kind of different thinking people. And we can accept different point of view with a high sight, looking the whole picture, and understand that sometimes maybe we don't agree, but still we have the common intentions. I don't know the word is intentions, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I
If
do.
we still here and we still keeps, let's say, keep subscribed to your channel,
I,
it's because we want to see you and we want to hear you. We want to know what is in your mind.
Thank you. And the only reason I do these live streams is so I can talk to you, Juan, and and you, Tom. No, you have to have some respect. Most people don't even give you a shot. They listen to you for 3 minutes and then they're done with you. You know, they want to be instantly impressed. You can't. It takes longer than that to get to know somebody. Anyway, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I got a comment here. I just had to put it up here. Mitch, I got called a vegan troll for asking honest questions concerning my fatigue on carnivore. Last frontier. I didn't call you a troll. I know that. I would never do that because fatigue on carnivore is a very common thing, especially when you first get started. So you're legitimate. I'd be interested to know who called you a vegan troll, because if they did, then if I'm listening to them, I'm going to stop. At any rate, thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate it. And I got to get out of here. It's got it after 10 already. So listen, guys, thanks for coming in. I'm gonna try to find on my fancy new mixer here a little exit music, and I think this is the one right here. Can you guys?
Mitch.
Can you hear the music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful
Cool.
music.
All right, my friends. You guys take care. See you next week. See you on Thursday.
Guys.
See you on Thursday, Mitch.
Okay, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye. And that leaves just me. And appreciate everybody coming in tonight. See the chat still going. Everybody's saying goodbye. I'm going to type night all in the chat because I usually do that too late. And I will see you all Thursday night in the private community. And to those of you still left here, you have my absolute permission and encouragement to take the rest of the day off and eat meat.